Hey, this is Dave from metalepidemic.com. Thank you for checking out our YouTube video. Please feel free to hit the subscribe button below if you like this type of content, and we hope you enjoy the review. What is up, guys? Dave here from Metal Epidemic, back with another album review, and for this review, Duncan Kyle and myself have been checking out the new album from Japanese psychedelic rockers Sonic Flower. The band's new album, Rides Again, will be released on January 29th via Heavy Psych Sounds. Okay, so this one was a bit of a no-brainer for us. Well, Duncan and I, anyway, I've yet to hear what Kyle thinks of this, but Duncan and I are big fans of a little sludge band from Japan called Church of Misery. We saw them live in Glasgow and interviewed the bassist, Tatsu, which is it's still on YouTube if you want to check out Duncan speaking in his most posh Scottish accent. That was 2014, that was, by the way.
Fuck off, Dave! Come on!
Yep.
Prick.
Yeah. Yep. Sonic Flower was formed as a side project of Church of Misery in 2001, and Tatsu Mikami and Takanori Hoshi, the guitarist on Church of Misery's second album, The Second Coming, they teamed up to play a more kind of bluesy, instrumental, heavy rock. They were quickly joined by guitarist Arisa and drummer Kaisuke Fukawa, and after a run of shows and the release of their self-titled debut album Sonic Flower, the band took to the studio to record new material in 2005. But as Arisa was pregnant, the day jobs prevailed, and they put the band on hiatus after that recording session. These recordings have been sleeping in the vault for 15 years, until Tatsu decided to reform the band in 2018. This time he's teamed up with the old Church of Misery singer, who is now on guitar, and plan on releasing their very long-awaited sophomore album, Rides Again. So, this album technically has been recorded for over 15 years. Duncan, has it been worth the wait?
See, I feel like this is kind of like the loaded setup here, isn't it? Really, this is like we're going all guns blazing, everything balls against the wall, all or nothing. Let's get Duncan in here. Yeah, I'm like, to say that I was a fan of Church of Misery is the fucking understatement. It took like sludgy, like just sludge, and it mixed it with the theme of serial killers, and it literally sounded like what they had done is managed to somehow map a questionnaire of my favourite things and then form a band around it, because that's literally what it was. And then we saw them live, and they were so fucking good live, like so ridiculously good live. And he's the main guy, he was the main driving force behind that. Now,
yeah,
well, we might as well also put the cards on the table here. I am first a huge lover of Japanese culture and Japan in general, but to their music, all their quirks in their music. So from the most horrifically cheesy pop right through to the most mind-bending, what the fuck did I just listen to there? This is everything in one band. I like it all. What I love about Tatsu particularly is everything he does feels authentic. You know, every musical facet that they explore, they do it precision perfectly. It's not just we want to sound sludgy, so we'll write some sludgy riffs. Like, when you saw them live, they were arguably better than a lot of the other sludge bands I saw that year. You know, they nailed it. Like the atmosphere, the sound, the presence. So I was interested because the blurb of what we heard from Sonic Flower and the track that I heard kind of put me back, because I genuinely didn't know what to expect. Sonic Flower and Rides Again is fucking great. Like, hands down, fucking great. It's exactly what I wanted. It's the blues, but it's not just the blues. It's the blues, but with that sludgy production. The production on this one is so fucking gnarly. It makes me smile. There are huge swaths of this that feel like really early Clutch, which just, once again, makes me very, very happy. At times, overall as a whole release, there isn't really anything in here which is remarkably different from this particular genre of music, but that in a lot of respects is what I enjoy about it. It feels authentic, and that's what I want. I don't want a new age spin on kind of sludgy blues. I mean, I'm sure there are bands out there that want to do that. I just don't want to fucking listen to it. I want something that feels like you're saying 15 years. It feels like it could have been written 15 years before that and just recorded in 2001. That's literally what it felt like to me, and I love that about it. There's an affinity with Japanese music where the musicians have that idea of their pop's always cutting edge, but for whatever reason their rock always feels like they've only just discovered the 70s 2 weeks ago. And I think that is the benefiting force behind this, is that when you listen to it, they've captured everything from the album artwork, which once again feels like my dad may have owned this album, right through to the tracks like Super Wet, Jungle Cruise, Captain Frost, what the fuck, Quicksand Planet, and then, I mean, they shove in a couple of covers here, like Church of Misery, we're never ashamed of flinging in a couple of covers as well, and they put their own spin in it. If you listen to those original tracks, like Earthquake, for example, which is a cover of Grand Central Station, if you listen to that, they have put their own spin. It's not just we're going to play this note for note. There's also something kind of sloppy about it, which I really like, because this music doesn't benefit at all from precision. What it benefits from is atmosphere and groove, and that's what you get from the moment you switch it on. You feel like you're sitting in some dingy little club somewhere, surrounded by a lot of people wearing leather, maybe assless chaps, I don't know. It's just the sort of places I used to frequent before lockdown, Dave. But I get the whole package listening to it. I think this is, like, we joked earlier on when I was like that, is it too early to start throwing out fives? There's nothing on this release that I don't like at all. I think it's, for this genre, it does everything it needs to do, and it does it a whole hell of a lot better than bands were doing it back then and bands are doing it now. So yeah, I mean, I doubt we will see this live, which upsets me. And another thing as well, like, you're talking about no vocals on this one. It is like a complete instrumental album, and I'll be honest with you, I kind of at first thought, after specifically listening to Super Witch, I was like, right, this might be something that gets tiresome if there's no vocals there to drive it through. Not at all. Like, that's the exact opposite. I actually think if they put vocals on this, I would have lost my interest on it, because that's where the cliche comes in. You got a vocalist up there doing his best impression of every 70s singer. They don't have that. So there's something wholly wholesome and kind of like weirdly authentic about a Japanese band doing a spin on 70s Americana kind of bluesy rock that just feels, it's the album I did not know I needed in 2021 that I'm so glad has arrived. I think just, man, that production, like, everything should sound like this. Like, everything should sound so just, it's tangible. You feel like you could actually physically touch the music. Is that tactile? To say I'm a shilling mark for this one is an understatement. This is everything I wanted, and Tatsu, I fucking love you, man. One day, me and you, beers, whiskey. Just saying. I know he's not listening, but if he is, next time you're in Scotland, me and you are going for beer and whiskey. On me, I'm buying. I fucking love it, man. Absolutely love it. So yeah, there you go. Does that answer your question, Dave?
Yes, it does. Yes. Yeah. He doesn't even buy me beer, Tatsu. So that's quite a bold statement coming from Duncan there. Kyle,
Hello.
what did you make of Sonic Flower Rides Again?
Don't go breaking my heart. Don't you dare, you sexy son of a bitch. Don't you dare.
I've listened to a lot of albums in my life, and very few of them have managed to elicit the feeling I got from this one, and which is one of absolute, complete and utter love. I loved it. It's
yes! Fucking yes! He's not just saying that because it's the brainchild of a bassist, right?
No.
Tatsu is a bassist. He's not saying that because he favours the bass.
Yeah. So, this is what I'm talking about. This band is exactly what I'm talking about when I say, timelined everything in the grid. They have completely gone against all. I know it was recorded 15 years ago. I don't care. The grid was still there 15 years ago. This is what you were talking about. You can feel like you can reach out and touch the band when you listen to them. It just sounds so real. So, I love it. Everything about it is just right there for you to just, and it's sloppy, and there's fucked up notes, and there's bits where they just don't play it right, and it sounds amazing, and it's like you just sat in a club listening to them, and they're playing, and you don't give a fuck, because it just feels so good to listen to something that has a soul for once in your life. And that's the thing that struck me the most, and they're clearly just having a goddamn blast, They're having the most fun with something they want to do. They're not taking it super duper seriously. It's not like black metal, oh my god, we're gonna kill all the churches, let's say that. It's just they're having a great time doing something they love, throwing a couple of covers in, playing songs they love, and you can feel it, and it comes across on this album so well, and I love it, and I love the feeling, and I don't know what else to say. The production is perfect for it. It's not perfect because it doesn't need to be, because humans are not perfect creatures. We don't play to the groove. We don't play the same note the same way every time we play it. And we don't hit the drum the same way every time we hit the drum. So it's like everything about this album just came together so perfectly. And I really, really hope they do a tour. The cards are saying no since it says they broke up here. But I mean, get back together, do a tour. Come to Norway, or make me go to Scotland for the second time in my life.
What about you, Dave? What says you? Because I've got a feeling that this one. Well, I knew before. To be honest, I peeked behind the curtain. Dave listened to this before me, and Dave wasn't using his poker face. He was like that. Oh, fucking Sonic Flower, Duncan. Let me tell you. Let me spin you a yarn. When
awesome. You sent it and I saw Sonic Flower, I was like, what the fuck have you sent now? But yeah, totally gave me away.
You got the floor, Dave.
Yeah. What a pill of happiness this is in 2021. I mean, this is just what I needed after that shit show that was 2020. This is such a feel-good album. Such a feel-good album. And as you said, there's no vocals on this at all. But you know what? The music does all the talking. I didn't miss the vocals at all. This is Tatsu once again showing not only that he's a powerhouse bassist, but what a great songwriter is as well. These tracks, they never meander or become boring. I was totally locked into this for its entirety. And although that the bass does have like a prominent role in this band, it's most definitely the kind of driving force on the album, but it doesn't ever feel like it becomes like too flashy or up its own arse, as we say in Scotland. But what I'm trying to say is the rest of the band are just as essential to the overall sound Sonic Flower are going for. Those bluesy, scuzzy guitar licks, the harmonies between the bass and the guitar, or the kind of tight lock that the bass and the drums have between them, are all things that make this album so good. My highlights of the album were probably Black Sheep, which has this Clutch-esque swagger to its riffs. It's unbelievably infectious, and I loved Captain Frost, which it kind of hears the guitar take more of a lead role, and kind of let loose some solos and stuff. The main riff from that track is like a 70s sludge rock version of Audio Slave's Cochise. It's got a very Cochise kind of feel about it, the main riff. The last track though, that Earthquake cover, the Grand Central Station cover, fucking, that is awesome. I mean, and I love the original. It's, you know, the original is full of like slap bass and funk and stuff. You know, I mean, it's Larry Graham on bass, who's like legendary. But this cover, they do keep a lot of the kind of originality of the track. You know, it's still got a bit of a funky feel to it, especially in the guitars. But the bass is just cranked up and like full of like fuzz, which it just gives this track this like a really kind of thick groove to it. It's impossible not to get into it. I thought it was a cracking cover song. The production, like, I think it purposefully sounds old school. Like, we know this was recorded 15 years ago, but they've not necessarily tried to put like a new coat of paint on it and bring it up to the here and now. You know what I mean? Like, if you didn't know this was released in 2020, you would probably think this was like a 70s or 80s release. It feels very analog. I kind of love that about it. Like, it's just got a ton of character, and it completely works with the sound of this band. I love this. It's 7 tracks of bluesy, sludgy, psychedelic rock. It pulls no punches. It's pretty much full steam ahead for the like 30-minute runtime, and then by the end of it, you're just ready to press play all over again. I listen to this so much. It's the kind of repeat listenability of this album is just so high. I just wanted to keep putting on and putting on. Cracking album. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Rating wise, this will be interesting. Duncan, where are you scoring this new album from Sonic Flower?
I said I wasn't going to do it. I said I wasn't going to do it. And then we were all talking about it, and I'm like that. I've yet to hear anyone say a negative about this. Because there isn't any negatives. I'm yet to hear someone point out something which would take it down a notch, and no one's been able to do that. The only thing we could hold as a criticism is it's taken them 15 years to fucking release it. And I'll tell you right now, you compare that with Chinese Democracy, which took, 15 years to come out and wasn't worth the fucking... The paper it was printed on, right? Yeah, this is a 5 from me. I adore that this will be played to death this year. This is, I can already tell, this is right at the end of the year, at the end of 2021, when we're talking about our most listened to, I will be overwhelmed if this isn't in there. Yeah, They gave me an album that I didn't know I needed. And I think used the description character, and I think this is what it has. There's so many albums, and Kyle talks about it, and it's never really always a negative with me. There are so many albums out there that are released without that character, without something that makes it feel like it has a personality. This is an album covered in personality. Weirdly, we double bill really well with the N minor release. One takes you down, one brings you up. So there we go. Yeah, 5 out of 5. Sonic Flower. Fucking love these guys. Write another album. Get it out. Get it sent to me. 5 out on the first week of recording. Yes! The year of the 5s, Dave. The year of the 5s.
Oh, Jesus. Kyle, what are you rating this album from Sonic Flower?
I hate to do this, Duncan. I really do. He's going to come over in here and smack me in the face, isn't he? But I'm going to give it a 5.
Yes! Yes!
It's just, as the only criticism I could give it is too damn short. 7 tracks, but I don't care. I can just listen to it again. You know, it's great. It's amazing all the way through. I don't really have much more to say.
Let's see if Davey joins us in the Mile 5 Club.
5 Mile High Club.
He's not gonna. He's too proud. Look at him.
It's a 4.5. It's a 4.5 for me.
Well, I had
Sorry.
5. That's good.
I did really enjoy it. As I said, I've listened to it loads. My only, and it's not really a criticism, is I have heard this done before. I have heard, similar bands to this. This is done really well, but I'd say, like, on a kind of, on the originality side of things, it's it's nothing new, it's nothing groundbreaking, but it is very good. So that's my score, a 4.5. That's the review. Hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you think. If you've heard the new Sonic Flower album, or they have released obviously a single so far. So if you've heard that, let us know what you think. Put some comments in below. Happy to hear your thoughts. This one drops on January 29th. It's called Rides Again by Sonic Flower. It comes out on Heavy Psych Sounds. They're so old school, they don't have a Facebook. So
all the more reason to give them a 5.
Want to follow them.
All the more reason to give them a 5. They're like, what is this Facebook of which you speak? Fuck them. Love it.
I think the Church of Misery social medias, they have been posting bits about Sonic Flower, so you can see stuff about them on the Church of Misery Facebook page or Instagram or whatever. And I'll put as many descriptions as I can in below to those bands, and if there's any pre-orders and stuff as well. Thanks for listening to the review, much appreciated. We'll be back with another review very soon, but until then, take care. We'll speak to you soon.
Bye everyone.
Bye.